The 417 Gamers is a group of board, tabletop, and card gamers in the 417 area code. This is the podcast. Welcome to the 417 Gamer Podcast, episode 47, The One with Character. In the 4, Andrea and I talk about 4 games that we've been playing lately. We talk Scythe, Viticulture, Molkky, and Point Galaxy. In the 1 topic of the show, we discuss characters in games. And for the 7, we talk about 7 of our favorite characters from board games. Without further ado, the 417 Gamer Podcast.
Doh.
That's what I'm also trying to avoid. Hitting things with the mic and tapping the tables. And
Right.
some of the things I know not to do, but then I still sometimes do.
Yeah, it's an accident.
We have those boom mics that are buried in the back of the closet that maybe I just need to bring those out.
Yeah.
It's, stuff and things. Welcome to the 417 Gamer Podcast. My name's Rick.
And I'm Andrea.
In the 4, we like to talk about 4 games that we've been playing recently. Andrea, I'm going to talk about a game that you're not that fond of. You don't hate it, but it's not one of your favorites. I'm going to talk about Scythe.
Yes. I will play it, but it's not my favorite.
Scythe is designed by Jamie Stegmaier, published by Stonemaier Games, and the artist is Jacob Brzezowski. It is set in a alternate history 1920s diesel punk where basically technology has been lost for better or worse. Every player starts with one of the factions in Europa. You have like Nordic, you have Roosevelt, Crimea, Polania, and then there's an expansion that brings 2 invaders from afar. It brings Tagawa and Green, Albion. And I forgot Saxony. Saxony is the black faction in the original set. Anyway, on your turn, you're all vying to put out 6 achievement stars, and there's various achievements throughout the game. If you can build all your mechs, that's an achievement star. If you can build all your buildings, that's achievement star. If you can enlist all of your recruits, that's an achievement star. If you can get all of the power maxed out to it's either 14 or 15, that's an achievement star. If you can get your popularity maxed out, achievement star. You have secret objectives, achievement star. Winning a battle, achievement star. You can do that twice.
Oh.
Popping out all of your workers,
Achievement star.
yeah, achievement star. And as soon as somebody hits a 6 achievement star, the game ends immediately. Then you go to final scoring, and whoever has the most money wins. And there's a little track on the left-hand side that's tied to your popularity on how many achievement stars you've got is how much money you'll get. And then there's another one that gives you how many hexes you control will give you money. And then for every pair of resources, you'll get money. There's also a little bonus on building your buildings in certain fashions, like maybe next to lakes, or build them in a straight line, or build them on farms and tundra, or build them on the tunnels, or build them next to the tunnels. Yes. So there's different ways you can build your buildings to get a one more bonus. Mm-hmm. On your turn, you have a little action board. You take your little action, you put it on somewhere. You can either move, you can produce, you can trade, or you can bolster. Bolster gives you a little power in the game to go attack, but you have to move to go attack. But you need resources and power to attack. It's a resource management game at its heart. It's very fun. I like it. It can be aggressive if you play with aggressive people.
And I have, and I think that it's a great game. It's just to me, it's a war game. You're fighting other people, and that's just not my style of game that I enjoy. But you do.
Yes. So you get a faction board and you get an action board. The action board is where you're doing all your actions. The factions give you your flavor, your asymmetrical powers, and you can get a faction that just does not play to your particular play style, and you can get a board that doesn't necessarily play to your play style. Mm-hmm. And I got both when we played in the Village Meeple tournament. I got Tagawa, which I don't hate Tagawa. I like Tagawa, but then I got a board that was more building based, and I really like more putting out my workers and getting my recruits out first. And those were Those were set on opposite sides of the boards, and they were the most expensive. It was most expensive for me to get recruits. I think it was 4 food to get a recruit out, and I can't stand that. I got me an upgrade. I got me a mech, and I got the mech that allows me to teleport to my traps. And then I kind of stalled there in the middle, and I took 3rd in our group, which was not good enough to move on, because they did it by how much money you earned in your games.
Oh.
Fun tournament. I would absolutely play another tournament at Village Meeple. It's laid back, it's low key, it's fun. And then guest has been on here before, Sansu. I just terrorized her for the rest of the game. She took 2nd. She was so mad. The gentleman that won, he had Roosviet, and he was kicking tail. And Roosviet, you get the right boards. Since usually whenever you take an action, you have to take a different action each turn. Roosviet's powers, they can take the same action over and over. Togawa's powers are the traps. You put the traps out there, and if you upgrade to the right mech, you can teleport to them. And at the same time, if somebody hits your traps, it flips over, and it hits them for 2 battle cards, 3 coins, 2 popularity, something along those lines. And the traps are nice if you use them effectively. I did not. And I didn't get my River Cross until I'm my 3rd mech. So I kind of left myself locked in a bit. And I did not change my style enough to do anything effective. So I languished, and I pulled other people down with me, and Sansu was not happy. She was not happy because I went to the factory in the middle, which gives you a 1 more action space to take.
Yeah.
And I just sat there for a while with me and a mech and some people. So if she wanted to come fight me, she was going to have to lose popularity. And she was going to have to bring at least another mech with her. Because if you go into a battle, you get to play a battle card for every character and or mech you have in that battle.
And the mechs, to me, look really cool.
Yeah, they do.
And that was one of the reasons I wanted to play it the first time that I played it. I was like, oh, look at these things. They're awesome. And then you killed them.
I sent them back to your base.
Uh-huh.
You don't kill them. They just have to retreat back to the base. And
I see.
Call
it what you want.
Yeah. The painful thing is that resources, whenever you produce them, they don't go to your board. They have to stay on the map. So while you have pieces around those resources, you control them and you can use them. But if somebody kicks your butt and sends you back to your home, they get your resources as long as they control them.
Right.
Which is painful, because you could have been setting up for a big turn and need all the resources you have, and somebody takes it and you just lost 2 to 4 turns of, production that you needed, and you're like, oh. And on sometimes I'm like, Scythe isn't as mean, but then other times Scythe is meaner. It just depends. No, love Scythe. Since we're already talking about Stonemaier games, you want to talk about another one?
Let's do it.
All right, what do you want to talk about?
Wingspan. Wormspan.
Hang on.
Viticulture.
We've talked about Wingspan,
Concordia.
Wormspan. Actually, we might talk about Wormspan next month, depending on when that the expansion lands, because we saw some previews of it.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Pretty excited. But Viticulture, we put that on our 10 for 10 this year, and we even took it out to a game night a few months ago and played it at the very base map.
Yes.
And it's fine at the base map. I like it okay. And I think for brand newbies that have never played hardly any worker placements, but they're still gamers, I think the base map's fine. And the reason why I would take it down to the base map, if you've played Viticulture a lot and you've played the Tuscany expansion, there are certain strategies that you're looking so hard for that when you go back down to the base map, you have to recalibrate, and it almost puts you closer to a level of the brand newbie, because they don't know exactly what they're trying to look for to formulate a plan. So your plans kind of get cut out from your legs, unless your plans are the same when you played the original. But I think it makes it easier for me to. I don't want to dumb down my play, you know what I mean? But I don't want to just crush somebody that I'm trying to teach.
Right, because you played it so many times.
I have, and we love it.
Yeah.
But then we went on Levity Games, which is an Etsy site, and they've got stickers for your meeples and your structures. And we had some friends over last winter help us sticker all of our pieces. So whenever we play our Viticulture and pull it out, it looks really nice.
It does.
And we've really enjoyed playing it. The Tuscany map I prefer because it's got 4 seasons. I think that's way more interesting in your decisions because whenever you place a worker, they're stuck in the season you played them. Whenever you play the base map, you just have spring and fall, and then or summer and winter because you have summer visitors, winter visitors. The spring is whenever you're deciding what time to get up. Summer is when you do your actions. The fall is the change, and if you have a cottage, you get a card in the fall. And the winter is whenever you do your harvest in the base game. In the Tuscany, there's 4 seasons. Spring is when you build your structures, get your orders for grapevines, and summer is when you actually plant the grapevines and get your summer visitors to come out and visit your compound and maybe give you a little bonus. Sell off fields if times are hard and you need the monies. Do some trading with other farmers to get points or resources or whatever. Then you go to the fall. The fall is when you do your harvesting of the fields, crushing your grapes to make wine. Go to the stores and ask for the wine order card to find out what they want you to sell. Then in the winter is whenever you get your winter visitors. You sell your wine for points and or monies. And train workers. Train more workers because you only start with 2 regular workers and a grande worker. And I love the grande worker mechanic. So, like most worker placements, if one of your little workers is taking up a spot, nobody else can have that other spot. The grande gets to step in and say, hey, what's going on? And they still get to take that action.
I love the grande worker.
Yeah. And then so Tuscany is a double-sided map. On the opposite side, it adds a new card. So you usually have grape cards, summer visitors, winter visitors, and wine orders. It adds structures, and you have a second little bitty board that hooks onto your board. That hooks on it sits next to it. And you can start building structures. You had one structure that was really kicking butt this last game, and I forget what it. Do you remember what it was?
I was able to, instead of selling and completing a wine order for points, I could discard a card and a white grape and a red grape to get, I believe it was 3 points.
Yeah.
And which is on par with fulfilling a wine order.
Yeah.
So I was able to actually win versus you two boys who
we had a dead heat for just points before we went to the map.
Yeah.
And then,
so anyway, I very much like that expansion because
Yeah,
I
do.
feel like if I can get one of those good building structures that I'm able to utilize, normally you guys just blow by me and I'm behind you guys by like miles. I can see you in the distance, but I'm back. I feel like I'm back at the start. But in my opinion, it helps level the playing field because I haven't played as much as you guys have, so I don't have those strategies ingrained like you guys do. I'm just like, oh, I guess I'll make some wines.
Well, and I've heard some people whine about the card saying it's not thematic because you don't have to make wine. We have a couple wineries in the area, and it seems like they make their money off the events for having guests come and go to their pizza grill night or having like a haunted hayride or stuff like that. Yeah. You know, because I don't know how many people go out to the wineries local and get a bottle of wine all the time. They go to the store and they get their box wine, cheap wine.
Yeah.
You know, whenever we make our spaghetti, we go to the store and get a cheap bottle of red wine for our spaghetti sauce, for our bolognese. We don't go to the local wineries and grab a thing.
Right.
But when we do go to a local winery, it's fun to go look around and stuff like that and to have a little sip,
It's
little
usually
try.
because they're having an event of some sort.
So, I honestly, to the people like, who's not thematic the cards, I go, I blow raspberries in your general direction. You come back, I'll taunt you a second time. I want to talk about a lawn game, and I know it's not board game, but, and I don't know why it popped into my YouTube feed. It's called Molkky, Molkky. It's a Scandinavian game where you set up these pins that are not unlike, they're cylinders that have like an edged face to them. They're numbered 1 through, I want to say 12. Yeah, 1 through 12. You kind of rack them similar to bowling pins-ish. Although since there's 12, you have it's slightly different configuration. In Molkky, you can play as many players as you want. You have a bowling pin that you toss at the rack. You knock them down. If you can knock down one pin, all the pins are numbered. You get the points from that pin you knock down. However, if you knock down multiple of the pins, you get points equal to how many you knock down. So if you can just knock down the 12 pin, that's 12 points. But if you knock down 3 pins, that's just 3 points. And then once they've been knocked down, they reset wherever they landed. So eventually, the playfield is going to get more and more spread out. The game ends when somebody hits exactly 50 points. And if they go over, they reset to 25. We played this a little bit with some friends and family. My niece just wanted to make the little pins talk and fight and argue because she was doing a little play for us.
But it's a nice change of pace from the cornhole and the other outdoor barbecue type games that we have. And we were lucky that they had it at the Aldi's.
Yeah, they did.
And it was
I think it was called Skittles or Scattles or something.
It was very reasonably priced, but it's a good, heavy game, and I see us playing this for years to come.
As soon as I picked it up, I had 2 requests in our game group. I'm like, hey, where'd you get this? And I had a third from an adjacent game group that comes up to Moon City Con and said, hey, if any of you guys are coming down to our convention at, how was it?
Arkansas.
Adventure Con down in Arkansas. Yeah. He's like, hey, if any of you guys are coming down this way, I will pay you for it. And he helped us load up, and I just sent it down there, and he still gave me money regardless of me saying don't pay us. But no, Molkky is a good change of pace. I think next summer we might do a topic where our top 7 lawn games.
Yeah.
Because there's quite a few. I mean, the last game we're going to talk about is something we kickstarted. We backed it. I need my phone to catch back up because my phone is just dragging today.
Point Galaxy.
So Point Galaxy is in the Point series. This is designed by Molly Johnson, Robert Melvin, and Sean Stankovich. It is published by Flat Out Games and AEG. So each year they've come out with the Point Salad, then the Point City, and now Point Galaxy. This is kind of in between both. So it's got the drafting of the Point Salad, in which you have galaxy cards that'll flip over into planets and moons. But you only draft 1 card at a time. There's not... The Point Salad, you could either take points, 1 point card, or you can take 2 vegetable cards.
Right.
Here, you're just taking one or the other. Mm-hmm. The moons want to be attached to the right color planet. The planets need to be attached to a galaxy. The galaxies will give you points based on different things. It could be based on different survey ships in the area. It could be based on sets of colors. It could be based on pairs and pairs of different colors. Then you'll also get bonus points based on consecutive numbers. They go from 1 to 7. You also have these kind of wild planets that you can draft and put in there. They have an X on them. They do not have an exact number, but they help continue. If you have so many cards in your tableau of a run, you get points. You also get points based on how many different numbers are in that run. So that X counts for the length of the run, but not for a specific number.
I think it is the prettiest of the Point series games. Point Salad, there's pictures of vegetables, not a lot of art there, but the Point Galaxy, the art on it is very beautiful, and I think that if you have maybe a kid who's into space and galaxy themed things, this is something you really need to pick up.
Yeah. If you've liked both Point Salad and Point City both, I say just go ahead and grab this, pick it up, play it. It's fun. I will say, that this came... Most of the points games have been a twofer if you wanted to back the second game with it. I will say I do like the other game better, which we'll talk about next month.
Oh, we'll have to wait.
We will have to wait. That was the 4 in the 417. Let's go on to the topic of the week where we talk about character.
Yes.
All right, let's go on to that. The 1 is our topic of the show, and we are talking characters in board games. Andrea, how often do you think about characters from board games when you're gaming?
As someone who really likes my books, I have so many favorite characters. In board games, normally you just pick a color.
Yeah.
You know, that is...
Especially like the abstract Euros or the older style Euros that we like to play.
So I enjoy games where I can incorporate a favorite character or a theme that I can really get excited about. That helps enhance the game for me.
Yeah.
Even if it's something as simple as, for example, there's a game called the Fox Experiment where you have dry erase markers and you are given at the beginning of the game breeding foxes, and then you will choose which ones to have litters from, and you get to name your pups. And so I'll name them certain, characters from my favorite,
Sure.
TV shows or something like that. And then those pups go on to become the parents for future generations, and you get to mix and match. So even something as simple as that adds that extra little layer of fun for me.
And that becomes a character for the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that. That's a good tool. When I think of characters, it's not just the character, but a lot of times since it's board games, it's the power that's attached to it.
The power that they get.
Yeah. I mean, looking at games like Aquatica, with each of the characters have different powers. Like some will let you, I think there's like Treasure the Turtle or something. He helps you put more treasures that, your locations, when they're already raised, you can then flip them over into your treasure chest, but until they're flipped into the treasure chest, they're not worth anything.
Right.
But when you do, that's when you get your points. So the turtle helps you do that, and he's got a good power, but there's some other characters we think are funnier or we like better.
Right. Sometimes I'll get a card just because, I know I've said before, the sneaky eel. I'm like, oh, I'm using my sneaky eel. It's just silly little things like that gives a little extra pop to a game.
Yeah. And then there's games like Marvel Remix, where we like all of the Marvel cards in there.
Right.
So then it is the power that I like better.
Or the opposite for my brother, when we play Marvel Remix, he likes to get all of the mutants. He wants to get Professor X and Cerebro. And for him, it's the theme of the game that he enjoys.
Gotcha. And then sometimes the games, even though they might not have characters to them, they become characters. So like in Viticulture, for the longest time, you have the chickens that mark what time you get up, but they're a little top heavy, so when you push them along, they might flip over and land on their beak. So I called it the sleepy chicken, because it got knocked over so many times when we were playing at Geekway to the West, and I said, "You going sleepy chicken?" And then they're like, "What?" And I said, "He fell down on his beak. He's sleepy." And for the longest time, it was like, "I'm gonna go sleepy chicken." That just meant push your chicken into the next month. You've passed.
And when we play something like Finspan, you want the great white shark.
Yes, I do. I want a shark, period.
But the great white shark, if someone else pulls that card, you're like, no, that was supposed to be me. Yes, it's worth a lot of points, but thematically, you're like, I wanted that
hammerhead shark. So far, we've played that game like 5 or 6 times, and I've only pulled 2 sharks. I pulled like the Greenland shark. I'm like, who's that?
That's not even a real shark.
And a cookie cutter shark.
Yeah, that's not a good shark.
That's smaller than like most of the fish. That's crap. And then there's games like Everdale, where there's cute little cards and stuff that comes up there.
Yeah.
And it's cute for the art, but nothing really lands from like, oh, I remember that. Mm-hmm. So, for me, there are some memorable cards from Mission Red Planet. There are certain cards that the art's fantastic in Mission Red Planet. I love the simultaneous action.
Yeah.
There's a couple cards in there that it's the character and what they mean. I know it's the power, but it's the art goes along with what it is.
Right.
And I think that does it really well.
Yeah.
Are there any characters you don't care for?
I don't know. There's some corporations in Terraforming Mars that I would just rather not play at all and would just give me a beginner corporation. I'd rather just have that. But individual characters, I don't think I have one that I would avoid. I was like, if I have to play that character, I'm just not playing.
For Lords of Waterdeep, if it's the Xanthar gives you points for your corruption. Whereas if everybody's going corruption heavy, then it's not that big of a boon. And I don't like playing as him. Period.
Yeah.
And then there is a character out there that I can't remember that when I get I'm like, ugh.
Do you remember what game it was from?
No, I don't care as playing a Nordic in Scythe. Nordic does not play to my style. I fumble around and I never come in last, but I also don't usually win with Nordic. And it's just a conflict of styles just based on the peninsula it starts on and all my stuff. So there's a few characters, and it's more when it happens, and it has to do more with how they set up, start, or their power than the actual character itself.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I very much enjoy when a creator of a board game adds the layer of characters with some flair. Woo! To me, that spices it up just a little bit more. Not that I don't enjoy a dry Euro as much as you do sometimes, but I like the thematic aspect.
Well, one game I need to go back and play again is Marco Polo. In Marco Polo, everybody gets a power. It's an asymmetric power, and each one is really, really good. And each time you play it, you're like, oh man, this almost feels like you're cheating because you get to do something that's really, really good that the others don't. But when you play those other powers, you're like, oh, this is really good. And for me, I think there was one power that I didn't care for just because I didn't utilize it well. But the characters don't stick out to me to where I'm like, oh man, that's the one.
Yeah.
I wish I had played more of the Cosmic Encounter. Because there's quite a few of those alien races that are awesome. But I don't play it enough for that to stick in my head for me to suggest as a favorite character.
Yeah.
Because each one plays so different. I mean, there's the Gambler, there's the Lich. There's some that want to be on the losing side. And then there's some that want to just destroy everybody at all cost.
I will say that I prefer to be the werewolf in One Night Werewolf.
Ooh, the troublemaker from One Night Werewolf. I prefer to be the troublemaker.
You dig it? That's your core personality.
Swap two people's roles.
I hate when I draw a villager. I'm like, oh, boring villager, blah.
I have no problem being a villager, but I like being the troublemaker because I swap two people's roles and I wait for them to hang themselves. And then I have to argue and let people know that I'm the troublemaker and make them believe, because I'm pretty good at a werewolf, and people have gotten to the point where they don't trust me, which is terrible because I'm trustworthy-ish. When playing a board game, does a mini, meeple, or standee help you get into that character?
Absolutely.
And do you prefer one version over the other? Do you rather a meeple, a mini, or a standee?
I don't care for standees.
Okay.
I don't know why. There's no specific reason. The minis, I love minis. I don't love minis as much as Carl, the way he paints them, and and here's why. I'm not very good at doing that. If I was good at it, you would know there would be shelves and shelves of minis in this house.
Yeah.
Because I do like that enhancement of the character, It's just that visual registration and clicking.
Do we need to go to one of Carl's paint days?
Maybe.
Okay. That might be the way I get my stuff painted.
I wish I was better at it. But yeah, I love the visualization of the minis and moving across the board. Yeah. I do like that. It does enhance the game for me.
I like
more
meeples.
than just a cube.
Yeah. I don't like my character to be the standee. I would rather a meeple or a mini also. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to like villains or something like that out there, especially the middling minions, those can be standees and that's fine. Mm-hmm. And I can identify, ooh, that's a skeleton, ooh, that's spider. Mm-hmm. But when it's the big bad, I want that to be a fleshed out mini if possible, or a meeple. I mean, we got the upgrade for Wormspan, and we'll probably talk about that next episode or next month. Meeple Source, just for the first player, is a huge dragon. If you had that in a board game, that'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But so when you're talking about characters, is there anything... We don't play enough RPGs for this question.
I would love for us to start playing RPGs. I think that's a whole different section of gaming than board games that we have not gotten into. But I do like to watch, like on Dropout, they've got the live where they record people playing, Dungeons & Dragons and games like that.
Dimension 20 and then there's Critical Role and
things like that are extremely entertaining, and I'd like to get in on that, but there's just a total door we've not gone through.
Yeah. Because the question that I had in the 417Gamer group that's going to happen at the end of September is, what is something you wish board games would use more from the RPG realm? And I don't have that answer. That's a question I pose for more of our gamers that do both realms. And that's one of the realms that we want to dabble a little bit more, maybe towards the end of this year, or maybe that's just one of our goals for next year.
New Year's resolution, perhaps.
Yep. So that was the topic of the show, characters in board games. Why don't we talk about 7 of our favorite characters?
Let's do it.
The 7 in the 417Gamer podcast is our 7 of a given category. And in the September episode, we're looking at characters. Andrea, we are looking at 7 characters this episode. This should be 47 if I'm editing it right. Next episode will be 48. We're going to do another 7. Just to prove that even though this might be a bad topic that I picked, I'm still going to go for it.
Well, a lot of board games don't have a particular character.
Yeah, Crokinole doesn't have a character. I'm my character. I guess I could put that on one of the characters, me. I love playing as me.
Like in Terraforming Mars, or a lot of, you just pick a color or a corporation. There's not a particular character that you want to be. Like in Monopoly, everybody, fights over the penguin or whatever.
I prefer to play as Dr. Dibson whenever we do Moon Colony Bloodbath.
That's true.
But that's just a me thing.
Just because you like the artwork.
I do like the artwork, and it also has a lot of entendres to the name where people make fun of me. And I was like, it's a fun time. Just joke around. So, 7 characters that we've picked out that we like. Andrea, number 1.
The gray worker in Viticulture.
We call him the shady gray worker.
We do, because he's kind of there, kind of not there. He's a little shady, hiding in the shadows. If you... what time is it that you choose to get up?
The latest. You get up the latest to pick up the shady worker. You slept in, you woke up late, and you're like, oh no, I gotta do a whole bunch of actions. I need a shady worker this round.
Come help me.
Or I didn't train enough workers last round.
Right.
Or I couldn't get to the training grounds because it would either cost too much or too many people were there.
Exactly.
You're like, you know what? I'm going to get up late. Screw everybody else.
Right.
I'm taking the shady gray worker.
And we also call him shady because he disappears at the end of your turn.
He does.
Never to be seen again until someone else...
Steve's gone.
until someone else claims him.
Number 2. Gigazar from King of Tokyo. He is legally not Godzilla. He also looks closer to Reptar off of Rugrats, if you ever watched that cartoon in the 90s, 2000s. In the base game, he has no powers specifically to him. And whenever you get the powered up expansion, he does have some evolved powers that are pretty nice. But whenever I open it up, there's King, who is King Kong, but not legally.
Right, because
he's a big monkey.
Right.
Then you have Cyber Bunny, which I think became Cyber Penguin or something. They kind of changed it up. There's Panic-Kai, there's Boogie Woogie. so many, quite a few different little characters. And then there were some other characters that they brought in whenever they did King of New York that you could just bring over. But whenever I play, unless somebody wants them, I'd rather just take Gigazar. Number 3.
Cthulhu.
Cthulhu's in tons of stuff. And we
Yes.
we just put this down as a multi-game. Cthulhu, Death May Die, Cthulhu. When you're going through Arkham Horror,
Cthulhu.
so many Cthulhus. Whenever you're in a game, then there's Cthulhu around. You know to watch your butt, and when he shows up, it's either lights out or it's darn near close. Number 4 is Miss Scarlet or Mr. Plum in Clue. Now, I'm not only basing this off the game and member berries and nostalgia from childhood, but also the movie. The movie's great. And if I'm just going to pick 2 people that I'm looking for, Miss Scarlet, Mr. Plum.
Well, my take on that is number 5.
Yeah.
I have the supernatural version of Clue.
And which one do you want to play as?
Well, you should always be Dean Winchester if you have a choice.
Dean Winchester from the Supernatural Clue. Number 6 is Louie from Loopin' Louie. Loopin' Louie is a kid's game where it's a motorized plane, and every player has flippers to knock Louie's plane out of their way. Because the players are protecting their barnyard of chickens. They have 3 round little chicken tokens, and Louie's trying to knock them down. So you're trying to stay out of there. It's a good time. I'm trying to track down a second copy because I might have a way to combine it to make 8 players.
Oh.
I know. But Louie is the best character and the worst character for Loopin' Louie. That brings us to 7.
The Travel Agent from Mission Red Planet.
So Mission Red Planet is a simultaneous action game where you're all trying to put your guys on Mars. The Travel Agent is a push your luck type of thing. You have to play her at the right time. Because whenever you play your cards face down, it's a countdown like you're blasting off a rocket. 9, 8, 7, 6. She's 3. So what she allows you to do is put 3 astronauts in one ship, and then if it's full, it gets to launch. But if you do not have room or do not have a ship to put all 3 of your astronauts, you can't use her. It's a dead card. So it's one of those, you've got to play it at the right time. And when you do, it feels so good that you use that Travel Agent. And when we talked about characters, that's one of the things about characters. It's how much character do they bring? What kind of feelings do you get when you use them? And there's certain characters you look for in board games.
Sure.
The Travel Agent, whenever you play it well, you've got 3 guys out there, and that's the most you can play on a turn.
Nice.
So those were 7 characters, and I know this top 7 went over quick. In episode 48, we're going to do another 7.
We will.
Yeah.
Our 8 through 14.
8 through 14.
And we just did board game characters. We didn't do like
Role-playing.
CTJ or Magic or Dungeons and Dragons.
Because if we got some of our friends in here to talk about Magic the Gathering, there's probably tons of cards like, this card, But thanks for listening. We'll see you on September 20th, which I think is a Saturday, I hope
so.
We're going to review Battle of Hoth by Days of Wonder. It's Memoir 44 meets Star Wars. And I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, but I love my Memoir 44. Little
so
Memoir
much,
44.
So much so that you bought 2 copies of this
Bought 2
game.
copies, hoping I could do like an Overlord variant, and I still haven't worked out how I want to do it because I think I put the boards. I think I can still figure it out from this. But I honestly think to do it properly, you might need 4 copies to do Overlord.
Whoa!
Yeah, I'm not buying 4 copies. 2 is more than enough. It's not the cheapest of games, but we enjoy it. We're gonna play it. We've played an intro game as of this recording. Andrea and I are gonna sit down and play a few more times to get a full-fledged review.
Yes.
And then we haven't talked about events around the 417 in an episode or a month or two.
Lots of fall festivals.
Yeah, and we're going to go to some, and we're looking forward to some others that we hope we can hit. Mm-hmm. So we'll see you in episode 48. Until then, keep gaming.
And the 417.
Goodbye.
The 417 Gamer podcast is recorded and produced by Andrea and Rick Bagwell. The intro music we use, Kind, Gentle, Beautiful Person, and the outro music, Making Up for Lost Time, was created by Origami Reptica. For links to our show notes, the music, and guest links, head over to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Hobby Gaming Network. Until next time, keep gaming in the 417.